Every man is pent up within the limits of his own consciousness. Just let that chilling reality wash over you for a second. We spend our entire mortal lives frantically trying to manipulate the chaotic world around us, completely forgetting one inescapable fact. We can never actually step outside our own skin. Everything you will ever experience, every joy, every agony, it all happens entirely within the heavy iron walls of your own mind.
So, how exactly do we navigate this eternal isolation? Well, we have to look at the very architecture of human destiny. You see, fate divides our lives into a strict, unyielding trinity. It's an ancient blueprint that dictates absolutely everything about our triumph or our tragedy.
To truly grasp this, we first have to confront the prison of consciousness itself. We have to realize that the external world, this fragile illusion we invest so much energy into, is completely secondary to what's happening inside. Reality is essentially split right down the middle. On one side, you've got the objective half. This is the world of events, circumstances, blind chance. It's utterly chaotic, entirely out of our control, and frankly, to an ordinary mind, it can feel pretty barren. But on the other side, the subjective half, the self. This side is absolute. It is unalterable. Think about it. Two people can stand side by side, witnessing the exact same objective event, a massive storm or a violent conflict. To a blunt intelligence, it's just a dull, passing reality. But to a rich, deep inner mind, it's a profoundly engaging narrative. The objective world rests squarely in the cold hand of fate, but the subjective world, that's us, and it remains strictly, beautifully confined.
This brings us to the core of the matter. Every blessing, every curse of this brief mortal life we're living can be distilled down to three fundamental classes of destiny. Destiny dictates our path through three very specific, very ruthless lenses. First up, there's what a man is. We're talking about your inner constitution, your personality, your raw intellect. Next, there's what a man has, your property, your wealth, the physical things you hoard. And finally, what a man represents, your rank, your reputation, and exactly where you stand in the highly fallible estimation of everyone else.
Look at society. It's really just a grand, tragic stage play, isn't it? Differences in rank and wealth, they just give us all temporary parts to act out. One guy gets to play a prince, another plays a servant, a general, a judge. But what happens when the play ends? When the actors finally retreat into the dark, shadowy wings of the theater? They strip off those velvet robes, they drop the heavy armor, and what's left? They reveal the exact same trembling, mortal agony underneath. That external costume does absolutely nothing to alter the isolated, aching consciousness buried beneath it.
Take all the pride, all the pleasure of the world, and mirror it in the dull consciousness of a fool. It's a completely pathetic sight. Now contrast that with someone like Cervantes. There he is, locked away in a miserable, squalid, dark prison cell, writing his immortal masterpiece, Don Quixote. A wretched physical cage literally could not contain the boundless riches of his inner constitution. Just like a gilded, diamond-encrusted palace is completely and utterly wasted on a vacant soul.
Which pulls us into the second class of destiny, and perhaps the most dangerous trap of all, the absolute futility of worldly possessions.
From the moment we're born, we're fed this lie that wealth is permanent security, the ultimate salvation. But let me tell you the dark truth. It is nothing more than a golden crown turning to ash in the dark. Once you move past satisfying basic natural survival needs, wealth achieves practically nothing for our inner reality. It's this fragile, decaying possession that just brings endless, unavoidable anxieties. You don't actually possess the wealth. The wealth, with all its heavy, suffocating burdens, entirely possesses you.
You see mortals toiling endlessly, day in and day out, like industrious little ants, utterly exhausted by their singular drive to just heap up more gold. But here's the tragedy. Because they bleed every ounce of their energy into the external world, their internal world rots into a terrifying void. They suffer from this inescapable inner poverty. And when your own mind is a blank slate of despair, what do? You're driven to fleeting, incredibly expensive sensual excesses. You frantically try to use external riches to plug up a desolate internal emptiness. And I promise you, that is a war you are destined to lose.
And that brings us to the third class of destiny. Because if wealth is a burning crown of ash, reputation is a literal phantom.
Reputation isn't real. It's not a tangible entity you can hold.
It's a fragile, ghostly illusion that exists entirely within the narrow, highly fallible consciousness of other people. Yet we sacrifice our profound peace of mind. We literally risk our health, just to curate an image that only lives in the heads of strangers. It's supreme folly, isn't it? Deriving your own worth from a phantom arena over which you hold absolutely zero control, placing the center of gravity for your entire existence inside the erratic, perverse minds of the crowd. It's a fatal, inescapable trap.
Society practically begs us to chase these fragile illusions. Get the external property, hoard the wealth, crave the fleeting applause of the masses. But all of that can be stripped from you in an instant by a stroke of bad luck, by theft, or just the shifting, fickle winds of public opinion. The absolute truth, the only bedrock you actually have, lies entirely in your inner constitution, your moral character, your subjective mind. This is the sole companion you take with you into the dark when you are completely, irrevocably alone.
And so, we must look inward. We must recognize the unyielding sovereignty of what a man truly is and build that inexorable inner citadel. Because you see, there is an all-powerful predatory agent out there that eventually comes to claim its grim rights over absolutely everything. Time. Time is ruthless. It devours your physical advantages, it slowly wastes away your youth, your beauty, and eventually, it's going to come for your wealth and your reputation too. But there is exactly one factor that remains utterly inaccessible to the destructive wasting decay of time: your moral character. What a man is in himself, the core that accompanies him into the void. No one and nothing can wrest that away.
Genuine personal sovereignty utterly eclipses all the fragile privileges of royal birth. A quiet, cheerful temperament, a razor-sharp intellect, a perfectly sound physique. These are absolute forces that no amount of rank or hoarded gold could ever buy. Honestly, a healthy beggar, out there thriving in the simple, raw joy of his own vital energy, is objectively happier than an ailing king slowly being crushed under the heavy, agonizing weight of his own golden crown.
And we have to face this heavy, stoic reality. What we are isn't something we can just casually acquire like a plot of land. It makes its entry by a kind of divine right at the exact hour of our birth, and it remains for life as an immutable, inexorable doom. Your personality, your deep capacity for intellect and joy, it's stamped upon you. We literally cannot step beyond our own individuality. The only true power we possess is to yield to the nature of our given constitution, to seek out the existence that actually aligns with it, and completely abandon this pointless, agonizing pursuit of trying to become someone we are not.
As Goethe so hauntingly put it, and no time and no power breaks into pieces the stamped form that lives and develops itself. No temporal power on this earth, no loss of fortune, no ruined reputation can ever shatter the stamped form of your own consciousness. You are the grand architect, and you are the eternal prisoner of your own mind. So I leave you with this. When the grand stage play finally ends and those heavy velvet robes are shed, who are you in the dark? Are you just frantically hoarding ash, or have you fortified an inner citadel that no one can ever touch?